And I bet you believe.
The murder has inflicted severe emotional trauma on me. I demand a room upgrade. Mr. Kincannon really knows how to run a...
I'm sorry, ma'am, but while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings room... Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me you'd be checking in soon. She's with Dr. Goodnight. Oh, and the victim, of course. In the grand ballroom. Oh, the ballroom's right behind the tower elevators. Swing a left or a right, then cut through the crowd of spectators. You can't miss it.
You! Stop that!
Got it.
The murder has inflicted severe emotional...
Welcome to the Grand Cl-
The crime scenes await. Can't believe something like this could happen in my hotel. When I found her, I was just hoping she had a... Hey, Byzantines and restraint aren't two words that often go together. Wouldn't be the first blood-soaked, unconscious party goer I've come across. Anyway, I'm sure I'd taken to checking the ballroom every few hours prior to the unveiling, just to make sure no sprats had snuck into the place. You understand. Found her right before I was set to head back to my room in the lower levels for my mandated 5-hour sleep period. Tell ya, thank the law for caffeinoid. Been too upset to get a wink of sleep since. What? No! I was in shift all day. Besides, I loved Helen's cereals. Beats all hell out of me. Maybe she would. Sure. Of course I did. I just told you I found the body. Oh, wait. No, of course I didn't. Plus, it's untoward for an employee to speculate about the actions of a hotel guest. Honestly, you're more than a little right. I've been burning at the britches to share my theories. Day of her death, I saw Helen leave the hotel premises with the profit of profitability, and didn't see her come back. A little on the suspicious side. Seemed especially strange, seeing how, yep. Gives seminars on increasing profit margins and the like. Can't say much else, seeing how I ain't in the gossip market. Or as I can recall, Helen dismissed the ladies' seminars in some kind of interview. Said her co-star used them, but she didn't. The top rungers are always ready to read between the lines of famous folks and seem to think the profit was on her way out. Woman lost a ton of bits and is set to lose more. I hope all that helped. Everyone's got theories. I don't reckon mine hold much more weight than anyone else's.
With Halcyon Helen gone, does that...
Oh, come on. Why is the lounge closed? I wanted brunch. I'll bet you 10 bits.
Hello there, my inordinately esteemed guest. If my hello were any more oh dear. If you've lost your key...
Black hole birdies dissipating.
If you have an issue with a hotel employee, management has requested that you speak to a security officer, rather than shoot them yourself.
I knew I should have gotten her autograph when I had the chance. Look at these people, gawking over Helen's corpse.
Oh, thank the law. Inspector, you don't know how relieved I am to see you. Constable Maria Keene. It's good to meet you in person, Inspector.
Dr. Goodnight. Ecstatic to make your various acquaintances and so on. Are we finished with the pleasantries? There's something I'm excited to show you. What body? Oh, that. Goodness, no. This is far more interesting than Halcyon Helen's rapidly cooling corpse.
Our coroner has developed a device which may prove useful in your investigation. Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you.
Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you. Oh, please. You make it sound as if I'm turning over stolen goods. Behold, my discrepancy amplifier. Hold it in your hands. Feel the way it hums with ontological potential. You're rather sharp in your upper story. I can see why you're the inspector. The discrepancy amplifier uses a deterministic model of our universe to detect the discrepancy between what should be and what actually is. Then it renders any discrepancies visible by using the power of magnification. Oh, goodness, no. I don't care for OSI doctrine. I just enjoy their math.
I'm contractually prohibited from endorsing off-brand technology, but I'll bend that rule just this once. You'll want to peer into the amplifier and examine the crime scene. Take a look at the crime scene.
Go on, Inspector. Ah, I was waiting for this. Our leading lady must have riled up someone. Her wounds from cranium to metatarsal are as follows. Followed by a suite of plasma burns down the neck and back, signs of poisoning, evidence of inanition and desiccation, possible signs of jaundice, some shingles, one malformed toenail. That's good advice. I'll just strike out malformed toenail as a possible cause of death. The short version is this. Helen was killed by poison, a blow to the head, and a plasma weapon. Possibly more. Oh! I've worked at the Grand Colonial for about as long as it's been around. Prior to that, I lived in Byzantium, but I always felt like it... And that something turned out to be corpses. Byzantium has much in the way of luxury, but examining the dead does not... Absolutely. Usually I'm just a medical practitioner, so I almost never get to deal with anything as unique. The most interesting thing I saw prior to this was the back of Mr. Woolrich's throat after he blew out his vocal cords shouting at an attendant. If I weren't here, I'd be back in my quarters, rewatching Byzantium in the spring or working on my automatic sprat peeler. Oh, good. I didn't expect an existentialist question, so... It's a need. Just as sprats feel they must... You're smarter than I look. Guess there's no shame in telling you exactly what it is you're using, seeing how you're so curious. As it so happened, my husband was mortally wounded in a marauder. I happened to have an excess of preservative fluids, a scanning device in need of a central processor, and a sudden burst of inspiration. A tragedy. Technically, it wasn't his whole brain, just a small cross-section, enough to operate the amplifier. But giving the amplifier to... Besides, my husband was the prior constable. He would have wanted his Because you're the inspector. I invented the discrepancy amplifier to assist me in my own medical work. When you were hired to investigate Helen, I programmed the amplifier to assist you. You don't miss a thing, do you, Inspector? I can see. Think of the amplifier as my... I still have the blueprint and several extra prototypes floating around, but I might... Some of the amplifier's internal components are rare, You should...
You're, really digging around Helen's body for clues, huh?
The discrepancy amplifier is now operational. Greetings, designated inspector and/or unauthorized larcenist. This unit has detected a discrepancy related to Halcyon Helen. Unscheduled expiration of. Begin amplification. The discrepancy amplifier has been programmed with advanced speech recognition, scientific analysis, and deterministic calculus protocols.
Oh, you'll love this. Amplifier, tell the inspector...
Please do not interrupt the discrepancy amplifier. The discrepancy amplifier is programmed...
How curious. I must have said its impertinence.
This unit's features include an automated personality simulator. This unit has been programmed to simulate... This footprint stands out from the normally spotless floor of the grand ballroom. Typically, the ballroom is cleaned twice daily, which means this must have been made by either Helen or her assailant or assailants. Footprint is a tailor-made 8.75, suggesting that its owner was very particular about their shoe size. It is also the exact size that Halcyon Helen typically prefers. There are traces of dirt throughout the footprint. The dirt carries traces of fertilizer, as well as the faint signs of crushed purpleberries and grass. Grass, fertilizer, and purpleberries can all be found in the purpleberry orchards, located not far from the Grand Colonio. This deduction appears sound.
Good work, Inspector. I had a feeling we'd make some progress once we brought you onto the case. You'll need Administrator Ludovico to grant you access to the orchards. Contact him through the secure access terminal in your penthouse suite. Check in with the concierge. Your room should be ready by now. If it isn't, I may have to go shake someone by the collar.
Put that away! You're making me nervous!
The Grand Colonial front desk warmly welcomes you. How may I be? My apologies, Inspector, but that would be a severe violation. All right, my supervisor just walked out of earshot. Some folks just don't understand the importance of gossip. About whom? You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aether Wave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see, so she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Emphasis on seemed. Now that you mention it, she was usually calm and collected, but every so often I'd see her looking all wild-eyed and intense. It seemed as if she was determined about something. Or maybe she was just hungry? That woman ordered a lot of food. Maybe show business gives you a faster metabolism. Ah, Birdie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I have a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Birdie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split. Her deal? Not making them. I'd laugh at my own comment, but everyone knows there's no bigger joke than the prophet of profitability herself. Didn't you hear Helen's interview? That woman is the definition of humbuggery. Anyone who gives her the time of day is a right fool. I mean, Spencer Woolridge has taken several of her productivity seminars, and look where it got him. Don't waste your time. If looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his. See, I'd bet we're the only two people thinking about him in all of Eridanos. And I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it. Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade. That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you? A dashing gunslinger type, then. I'm sure the investigation will turn out splendidly in your hands. Or at least Mr. Kincannon seems confident enough to believe so. It certainly is a marvel of modern ingenuity, luxury, and ambition. Please, allow me to answer any curiosities you might have about our building and the amenities on offer. Twice the size of the next biggest room, and kitted out with any amenity you want, as well as many that you won't. Best to enjoy it while you can, Inspector. Typically, the only people who can afford the penthouse suite have enough bits to suffocate everyone on Terra 2. Also, please inform me if Woolridge gives you a hard time about getting a better room than his. Don't tell him I said this, but everyone on staff wants to strangle him. Most certainly. All the important folks can be found in the utmost parts of the hotel. You can hardly walk 3 feet without bumping into a tossball grate or a bored exec. Though maybe don't bump into them. Could be harmful to your health. Who would be interested in a staff-only area? Most folks never ask about the sewers beneath Arizzo's plant, either. Of interest to your investigation? Well, I suppose there is that one door we're not supposed to open. But I'm sorry, Inspector, I'm not authorized to grant you access to any staff sections of the hotel. You'll have to find a way in on your own. Who would be in? Oh no, Inspector, ma'am. I live down there too. But that doesn't mean I... The best thing about Sublight compared to other organizations is the potential for upward mobility. We bottom rungers get in, do our job, do it well, then move up and on. This is but one rung on the grand ladder of... Ah yes, we are most pleased to offer you our grandest of grand accommodations, Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now... The last guest left her belongings behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we needed a little time to tidy the... Simply call the elevator in the...
What floor would...
Should I... You ever... Oh, of course. I'd lament... Sorry, you look... now... Notice my battle-hardened physique, have you? Used to be in a mighty mean line of work. Been shot at But when this... well, slug is something like... I mean, yes, but I still earn sublet a hell of a lot of bits. Basically, I singled out a ship to salvage that I thought had been out for use for years. As it turns out, it belonged to a wealthy Byzantine. As it so happened, I still don't think she tried to use it, too satisfied with the luxuries of Byzantium. Still, I figured it was a good time. There. Well.
What? Oh, so sorry. What author? Next.
I'm leaving my shoes on.
Inspector, I understand you've visited the scene of the crime. Halcyon Helen was an important cultural icon. She will be sorely missed. I will be plain with you. I'd prefer not having to hire you at all. This matter should be resolved by Rizzo's security. But Cedric owns the land complexes, so we have a jurisdiction problem. Constable Keene encouraged us to hire a third-party freelancer. Right now, you're the best chance we have at resolving this incident and getting on with our affairs. I'm contractually prohibited from acknowledging the slogan of a rival company. Also, Spacer's Choice disgusts me. Back to the matter at hand. Tell me about your investigation. Your discretion is appreciated. I admit, I'm beginning to feel more confident in this arrangement. Here, I'm granting you access through the gates to the orchards. You're officially authorized to see this investigation through to the end. There is one caveat. Cedric's being rather intransigent about letting you into the spaceport. Possibly he's trying to hide something. Possibly he wants to annoy me. Possibly both. I agree with the sentiment behind your snide remark. Unfortunately, the Piraeus spaceport is Cedric's purview, not mine. You have a lead to chase. Law speed, Inspector.
Is this how people in Byzantium live all the time?
There's no room service, right? Just asking.
Did you know the smoke from high society cigarettes is 10.07% more likely to leave odor and discoloration in fabrics than other leading brands?
You think they'd object to me setting up a tanning station here?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The imprint left inside this suitcase matches the silhouette of Halcyon Helen's iconic handgun, the Needler. The weapon was recently removed.
Helen, where did we go wrong? Oh, Lo, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for... Helen, I love you. I love you so much.
Eridanos is a technological marvel, and they use it as a tourist destination to sell sweets and alcohol. Cereals are used by the board to control what the colonists think about reality. Quite a powerful thing.
Hi there, Inspector. It might be a little beyond my job description to ask, but at my heart, I'm still a bellhop. Was the sweet to your liking? Good. I'm glad. Now, I'd love to bring you to a floor of your choosing. Oh, so what off
timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Sampling of the barcode reveals it is host not only to alcohol, but a variety of other substances as well. Among the selection are adrenatime, pep pills, dervish mist, and many other narcotics with unrecognized chemical signatures. Chemical analysis confirms user comment. This news is unlikely to factor into the murder, however, due to frequency of Byzantine narcotic misuse. Moralizing. It's not theft, it's object repositioning. System error. Bye.
Put that away. You're making me nervous.
I saw you meander on out of the pool and into the greenhouse. Now you're here. Does that mean what I think it means? Good. If you're interested in burying the pool, I'm interested in paying you. Maybe not. Maybe I just want Rizzo's working relationship with Slug to implode for the benefit of Spacer's choice. But you're right. It ain't high profile. And it ain't gotta be. Any damage to Rizzo's is cause for celebration. You ain't gotta concern yourself with my spite. Consider me an average Byzantine, and I'll consider you an average contractor. That's great to hear. Or grand, as the Byzantines are so fond of saying. Not that I ain't one. There's a chemical mixing machine in the greenhouse that has more than a few volatile chemicals. Mix them and render that pool unusable. Anything that ain't a cleaner should do. Dump the mix into the pool, then find somebody in Slug and tell them you did it for Rizzo's. That'll get those damn bastards into some red water. This here's a messy business, friend. And when it comes to messy businesses, the rule's always the same. Don't get too curious, whether it's about Saltuna additives or espionage. Spacer's choice didn't ruin anything. Rizzo's did. And ain't that a coincidence? But it's also gonna be Rizzo's that permanently puts that pool out of... They're getting a tad too cozy with your friendly neighborhood slugs. We don't want either gaining power on the board. Easier to do so if their alliance ain't so sweet. Personally, I don't think we're going far enough. Rizzo's is all smiling gun hands and uppity scientists. Wouldn't mind bringing them down with some, well... If you're worried about this hurting your relationship with Slug, I wouldn't. The guard's thicker than the shit in that pool. Tell him you're with Rizzo's and he won't question it. Dandy.
Timeline discrepancy detected. Analysis reveals the chemical signature of this compound is 80% semblant of fertilizer used in the purpleberry orchards. The other 20% is semblant of pool water.
Lockdown? No one's supposed to be coming or going.
Bozo's lemon slap. Slap your whole family.
This place is more exciting than I thought.
Whew! Thanks for the help back there. I've actually never fired a gun before. Is this ringing in your ears normal? That's more than a little disconcerting, since I maxed out my medical allotment this month. That's what I call my booze fund. Still, I had to be alive to be able to go deaf later. I'm not sure if I actually hit any shots. If you hadn't intervened, it could have been bleak. I'm just as confused as you are. Someone should have been on shift to see them coming. Ms. Vargas would probably have a better idea of what happened. She's stationed at the luxury pad.
I'm thinking of reserving a wilderness safari. Wear a fancy hat, fire a
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis concludes. The losing player used an overly cautious strategy that led to an insurmountable deficit in points. Slug discipline records show a half-dozen reports of illegal gambling in games of chance on company property. Perhaps there's evidence of an ante for this game?
On the Groundbreaker, dock workers used to bet their shifts on a game of cards. Maybe they're doing something like that.
We don't toss troublemakers out of airlocks.
Oh, thanks a million, Inspector. The smell cleared right up. Well, in a couple hours, the guests might even be back. Of course, we're not gonna get a follow-up shipment for the water anytime soon, so they'll have to content them. I got a little something for making my job that much less miserable. It's the key to our storeroom. It might... I guess I can spare a few bits. And, here, this pack of smokes. Sorry, they don't really look... I gotta get back...
Swear to the architect, Matthias, if you've lost your rifle's ionization coil again. Oh, wait, you ain't part of my crew. What do you want? An idiot. I suspect he's avoiding me, actually, which is the first smart thing he's done all month. Sorry, but do you need something? Between the landing pad, lockdowns, gate closures, and constant questions from angry guests, I've got a lot on my plate. And if that don't beat all, one of my crew is AWOL. I wish. Matthias is about as useful as a man to... Wouldn't give a damn if he were lost. Frankly, he'd be doing me a... If you're serious, I'd appreciate the help. He's been missing a few days. The missing crew member's Evan O'Connell. He's one of about 2 slug agents I can trust with more complex tasks than stand here and look tough. Friendly type. Well-behaved, followed orders. Anyone else, I'd think they got drunk and fell asleep in a ditch somewhere, but O'Connell's... He was last stationed at the Wilderness checkpoint. I'd searched... Inspector. Oh, thank the law you're here about the pool. That crucial thing that isn't my job to fix, and that, as such, if you want advice, here it is. Don't talk to that imbecile ever again. Even by my crew's standards, he's done. I put him on pool duty to keep him away from me, and now he's up my ass more than ever. How hard could it possibly... Nah, I only manage operations around the hotel. Cedric does most of the maneuvering for Eridanos proper. I don't envy him. The only thing worse than babysitting a couple of hot-headed, overgrown children would be babysitting the entire lot of them. Situation's a little more complicated than you think. Suffice it to say, I'm not inclined to question Slug's place for me anytime soon. I feel like our relationship would be more copacetic if you dropped this line of questioning. Oh, good. And here I was thinking that today was going along too smoothly. I might have used to work for Auntie Cleo. Might have been security manager of a small pharmaceutical lab. After workplace spat number 175, I decided to defect. Defection isn't taken lightly. Can't go back, so now I'm Slug for life.
I smell blood.
The last of them.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The garb on this security guard identifies him as a member of the Rizzo's corporation. His rank would have been that of jawbreaker or higher. This security guard has experienced premature expiration. Evidence strongly suggests a conflict with marauders.
At least he gave his life for a worthy cause.
Security Officer Danvers, nightly report number 27. No sign of trouble, but I'm on the lookout. If it's out there, I'll find it. Wait, I think I see someone. Approaching now. Excuse me, sir or madam. I require your participation in my nightly security report.
Nice going. It ain't stealing if no one sees.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This card also expired prematurely, following a violent encounter with marauders.
I doubt Rizzo's would ever shed a tear over him.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Hey, Crew C. It's Amelia. Evan must have gotten into the Spectrum in these crates. Listen to this.
Come out! Come out to play!
Law, he's having a grand old time. I'm gonna take him to A2 under the hotel so he can sleep it off. I'll meet you back at the orchard straight after. See you soon. Evan, come on, you slackwit.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This card also expired prematurely, following a violent encounter with marauders.
Ooh, what'd you find?
Rizzo's knock you out bar. CCN 76 milk chocolate, caramel and PVP nuts in it. It's time for a
Damn, when was the last time I slept? Hello.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. An industrial-grade laxative has been added to the liquor in these bottles.
Well, I suppose I've seen this one.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use currently at 92.9%. Searching slug work logs. No work log found, creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees. Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company. Slug, already unlike most corporations in a variety of ways, does not. That or the employees tasked with inspecting are shirking their duty.
Terribly sorry, but I can't chat just now. Someone on the second VIP level just ordered 15 canid meat pies, and if I don't get to... I understand your devotion to your job. Things might change if you had something very particular to...
Okay.
Something mighty strange went on earlier.
What happened? Norval get his cap stuck in the toilet again?
I was carrying a bag up to the second VIP guest floor earlier. Even for our guests, it was spectacularly heavy.
Wow, exciting.
I wasn't finished. I took a bad...
Show me how you did that.
Why, hello there. Goodness, I always enjoy seeing guests, but it's been so long since I've chatted face to face that I about hop. Excuse me, I should introduce myself, though you might know me already. Oh, that's now that our introductions are out of the way. Well, yes, but having an operator certifies that the right guests end up on the proper floors. We wouldn't want tossball players rubbing shoulders with CEOs. It'd be anarchy. Plus, there's always the risk a guest chips a nail or loses a ring on a button. It's an extra effort, but the Grand Colonial... That and the elevator still works if I'm ever not around. I do take occasional breaks and sleep every... Oh yes, Norville's great. His judgment sometimes leaves something... Unfortunately not. I was in the operator room for what it's worth, but I'm sure you've heard the rumor about what actually did her in. Well, not necessarily, but they're fairly prevalent on the other complexes. It wouldn't take much for them to find... Slug claims they've got the problem under control, but I don't understand why they haven't simply gone and exterminated all of the Marauders like the... Oh...
Do course the hotel don't give their workers a decent living. Decent?
Get anything good for lunch?
Be free.
Oh my lord, there's a mosquito in my sandwich. Wow, I haven't felt this great in ages. Wonder what happened. I was a few minutes late.
That's what you get.
Jackass is incoming!
Don't hurt me!
I'm too valuable to die.
Just leave me be! I'm too valuable to die! Don't kill me!
Leave me alone! No! Don't! Please! No! Don't let him get away!
Still got it!
I'm trapped in room A3. Please, someone come help me.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. 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 This collection of frozen food has not been restocked in some time. Many of these items are not available in the Grand Colonial, and must have been brought in from outside. The fridge was transported here from one of the guest bedrooms upstairs.
Thank the law, that's...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Inspector, I've detected a structural anomaly within a 0.8 meter radius of this locked door. The structural anomaly is not present in the design of the door. Please direct your attention to this nearby floor panel. This floor panel is 0.3 millimeters shorter than regulation length, suggesting unauthorized modification. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis confirms this is Evan O'Connell. Analysis also confirms he is dead. Per additional study of this body's skeletal structure, the cause of death was head trauma. That is correct. Evan was not killed by Iridanium gigaseus. However, Iridanium gigaseus do appear to be responsible for the early decomposition of this body's surface tissue. Further analysis indicates Evan's fatal injuries were sustained from blunt force trauma to the back of the skull, and his head collided with the ground. Respiratory analysis concludes Evan was not intoxicated at time of death. There are traces of blood on Evan's hands, Inspector. Analysis concludes this blood is human, type A. Medical records indicate Evan O'Connell's blood is type O. It is highly likely the blood is the result of an altercation. If you wish to question Amelia Stillwell, Slug's scheduling records indicate that she is presently on duty at the pilot house checkpoint.